We are standing in the Kapelleplatz in the city of Rothenburg. This would be the old Jewish quarter with the Mahram of Rothenburg and had his yeshiva and his Talmidim, the Rosh, and also his Talmud Chuvah, the Hagoyis Maimonides, Rabbi Kisul ben Yehuda, would have walked the streets. Now the Maharam, his father's name was Baruch, and he came from Vermeizen. He had a lot of. He was also a Talmud of the Rabbi Yechiel from Paris. He actually was there in 1244 in Paris when the burning of the Shasen happened in 1244. He even wrote a kinnis that we say on Tisha B'Av, Sha'ali Srufa Be'esh, which is mentioned in the kinnis of Tisha B'Av. Now in 1286, Rudolf I decided to change the status of the Jews, and he called them Kamerknecht, meaning that they became the property of the king. By paying a special tax, they became the property of the king. They had to pay a tax to become the property of the king. Some Jews liked it because then they gave them extra protection. Whoever started up with a Jew started up with the king himself. Now, why did the king do it? The king did it because he just wanted more money, more tax money to milk the Jews more for their taxes. But the Maharam refused to pay the tax. He said that we are only slaves to Hashem. Avodim la Hashem. We're not slaves to anybody else. So he wanted to pick himself up with his family and his close friends and students, and move away from here. He wanted to run away from Germany, but while he was in the Alps, in a place called Ensisheim, a convert named Albrecht Kniff, who actually wanted to marry the daughter of the Maharam, and that's why he was out to get him, spotted him, and he gave him over to the Bishop of Basel. And the Bishop of Basel locked him up in this jail in Ensisheim. Now, in Ensisheim, the Jews of Germany wanted to put together an enormous amount of money to save the Maharam and let him free, but he refused. He said, if this will be the case, then anytime they want some money, they will actually do it again. So he didn't let himself be, and he actually died in jail in 1293. 7 years later, Alexander Ziskind Rimpen, the one that we saw in the grave in Worms, he redeemed his remains, and he was laid to rest in the year 1300. This Alexander Rimpen was from Frankfurt the Main, but he asked when he passed away to be buried right next to the Maharam. But I find it fascinating that you can actually walk on the same street that the holy Maharam of Rothenburg and so many of the Talmidim like the Hagoyis Maimonides, Rabbi Kisul ben Yehuda, who also studied here, and big from the big Balatoises that learned over here. So if we continue on a little bit further, this would be the older place. You can find something quite interesting, because this would be this they call the Rothenburg Tower. This is some old part of town also. This was obviously the watchtower. When someone wanted to enter the town, they would stop the people coming in, asking them for their passports and stuff, and that was outside of town. So the Jews, after 1350, like I explained, that they were first thrown out in 1298. There was the Rindfeisch massacres, and the Jews were really massacred over here. And all the other places in Austria, this was called Austria at the time. Estreich, the Mordechai, for example, in Nuremberg, which is not far from here, was also murdered in this Rindfleisch Al Kiddush Hashem in 1298. The Maharam didn't live to see it. Didn't live to see it, but the Rosh did. We'll talk about that in a different time. So this place they want to call. So this is right outside the town, and this would have been. If you go a little further down, there was the Beis HaChaim, which just doesn't exist anymore down the street. Where was the Judengasse? Huh? So this would be now the new street that they got. If you come out over here, I'll show. We'll go out just for a second, and we come back. This would be the. If you can read, it says Judengasse. this would be the new street that they got. This would go all the way that they got outside the town walls to live, or the extended part of town. Now here they put in this city they call they have a name for it. If you read over here in the plaque, they call it Rebbe Meir's Garden or Rebbe Meir Gartchen, yeah, Judentanzhaus. Yeah, so at this place, they also found while they were doing excavations, they found some old matzavis, all come back to the 13th century. If you can read one after the other, they're all names of people that they found while they were digging out certain buildings. Now, the German laws now say that every place, a lot of these houses have because in 1520 they were completely expelled. So the Gentiles took the headstones and they used them for building material. So they're trying to recuperate the headstones that they can find in the buildings. So there is most people that had one like that. They didn't want their houses destroyed, so they just smeared some calic on it. But there are some people going around trying to find these old stones, trying to take them out and have them restored. In the museum, maybe we'll go still see it. There'll be still we'll see a bunch of these gravestones that are still standing. So this is called the Mayor's Garden. That will be the Judengasse, and this is the city of Rothenburg.